Shanti. Avyakt BaapDada. Today's date 18th September 1969. 18th of September 1969. Title: Methods to become Trinetri, one with third eye, Trikaldarshi, knower of the three aspects of time, and Trilokinath, master of three worlds. Today, whom are you seeing? Are you seeing the physical form or the Avyakt? If you do not see your own physical form or that of others and see the Avyakt form instead, you will become an image that attracts. When you see the physical form, you will not become an image that attracts. If you want to become an image that attracts, do not see the physical form. You and others will be able to attract only when the image that attracts that is in the physical form is seen. So now only the subtle service remains. Why do you come into the corporeal? What is the reason for this? Since you like becoming Avyakt, why do you come into the corporeal? There are useless thoughts and wasteful actions only when you come into the corporeal form. So why do you find it difficult to become Avyakt form corporeal? You quickly come into the corporeal form, but it is with great difficulty that you stabilize yourself in the Avyakt form. What is the reason for this? You forget. Why do you forget? Why do you become body conscious? You know about it. You recognize it. You have also experienced what the difference between the corporeal and Avyakt is. You also know what the benefits, and Baba says you also know what the benefits are and what the loss is. When you sit in remembrance, how do you stabilize yourself from being body conscious to being soul conscious? What do you say? It is a very easy thing. All the things that you have all spoken about are also things of effort, but even while knowing it and believing it, the reason you come into body consciousness is that there is the attraction of the body. In order to move yourself away from that attraction, you have to make effort. When there is something that pulls, what does one do to stay away from that? A magnet attracts towards itself even when you don't want it to. If you want to keep someone away from the attraction, what will you do? If something is pulling someone even when he doesn't want to be pulled, and if you want to keep that person away from that pull, what would you do? You would either take him far away or you would place something in between so that it is no longer available, so that it is no longer able to attract, This happens in two ways. You either take that person far away or you place something in between so that he goes far away. In the same way, like a magnet, you become body conscious or come into corporeal feeling when you don't wish to. What will you place in between? What do you need in order to know yourself? Something through which you will be able to know yourself and the Almighty Father accurately. It is only one word. In order to know the Self and the Almighty Father accurately, you need discipline. When you forget discipline, you also forget yourself and the Almighty Authority. Why is there the sanskar of carelessness? Because you forget the discipline, or another discipline brings the self closer to the Almighty Father. If discipline is lacking, there is not that closeness of the soul to the Almighty Authority, Father. Therefore, the thing in between is discipline. When you let go of one discipline or another, you forget to remember Baba. If your disciplines are accurate, the stage of the self also remains accurate. And when the stage of the self is accurate, everything is accurate. So, it is the attraction of the body that draws you again and again. If you place discipline in between, the attraction of the body will not attract you. Baba says, if you place discipline in between, the attraction of the body will not attract you. For this, pay attention to three things. 1. Remember of the self. 2. Discipline. And 3. Time. Remember these three things, and what will you become? Trinetri, Trikaldarshi, and Trilokinath. You will attain all the titles that you have been given at the confluence age. When you know yourself, the Almighty Authority comes in between anyway. So pay attention to these three aspects. When you see any image, chitra, body, do not see the image but see the living being, chetan, within the image. See that the activities, charitra of that image. When you see the living being, chetan, and the activities, because your attraction is towards the activities, you move away from the image. That is, from the consciousness of the body, there is definitely one or another divine activity in each of you. Because only the decorations of the Brahmin clan are full of divine activities, there are no divine activities of just the father, but each activity of those who are Baba's helpers is a divine activity. So see the activity and the living being, that is, the one without an image, Vichitra. If you see the one without an image and the activities, then the attraction of the body that pulls you even when you don't want it to will be removed. This is the main effort you should be engaged in at the present time. Since you say that you have changed, all of these things should also have changed. So why are there still old sanskars and old things? In order to change yourself, you first have to change your feelings. When you change your feelings, everything else will change. However, there is still attraction, asakti. If instead of being attracted, you consider yourself to be a Sakti, attraction will finish. When you don't consider yourself to be a Shakti, many types of attractions come. If any of attraction, whether to the body or to comforts for the body, are created at that time, remember, I am a Shakti. How can a Shakti be attracted? Because of being attracted, you cannot come into that stage. So finish all attractions. For this, just think I am a Shakti. What is the obstacle that comes mostly in front of the mothers? Attachment. Why is there attachment? Attachment is created through the consciousness of mind. But what is the promise that all of you made? When all of you came at the beginning, what was the promise that you made? I belong to you, and so everything belongs to you. This was the first promise. I belong to you, and so everything that belonged to me now belongs to you. So then, where did the consciousness of mind come from? You mix mine with yours. This shows that you have forgotten the first promise you made. The first promise that all of you made was, whatever you say, that we shall do. Whatever you feed us, wherever you make us sit. So do you remember this promise? Baba makes you sit in the subtle region. So why do you come into the corporeal region? You do not fulfill your promise very well then. Your promise was, wherever you make us sit, there we shall sit. The Father did not say sit in the corporeal region, while in the corporeal world remain Avyakt. If you forget the first lesson, what kind of training you have? In that training, make the first lesson firm. Remember that you will definitely fulfill the promise that you have made. Are all of you mothers who have come for training surrendered? If you are surrendered, where did attachment come from? When something burns and crumbles away, does anything remain? Nothing at all. If something still remains, it means that although the arrow was stuck, you did not burn away completely. You have died but not yet burnt away. Baba says, they first kill Ravan and then burn him. So you have died a living death, but you have not yet turned to ashes by burning away. The meaning of surrender is very great. Nothing of mine remains in that when you surrender. You surrender the body, mind and wealth. Since you have surrendered your mind, how can you create the thoughts that you wish to? How can you perform sinful actions through the body? How can you use your wealth for a sinful or wasteful task? This shows that you gave it to Baba and then took it back. Since you have given your body, mind and wealth, you have received Srimad about what you should have in your mind and what you also received Baba says, and you have also received Srimad about what you have to do through your body. You know what you have to do with your wealth as well. You have to follow the directions of the one to whom you have given everything. What will be the stage of one who has given his mind? Manmanabhav. His mind will be fixed on that one. He will never forget this mantra. Can there be attachment in someone who is always the stage of Manmanabhav? In order to become a conqueror of attachment, remember your promises. Everyone will emerge from this training, and so what will you stamp yourself with before you go from here? Being a conqueror of attachment. If the stamp of being a conqueror of attachment has been applied, the post will reach its destination directly. Whereas, if the stamp is not correct, it will not reach its destination. Therefore, you must definitely apply the stamp. Then we shall have a surrender ceremony for the mothers. For that, we shall only call those who have applied the stamp. We shall only have a gathering of those who have conquered attachment. Therefore, prepare yourself quickly. Acha. Om Shanti.